Today we're discussing Children's Dental Group. It's a group of 202 children who currently have their cases pending in the Orange County Superior Court Complex Litigation Division, Judge Hurwitz, Department CX 103. 202 children were injured at Children's Dental Group. There's a lot more children out there who are injured. These are the 202 children who have lawyers who have brought claims against Children's Dental Group in Anaheim, the people who are running it, including all the dentists and the CEO, Sam Gruenbaum, who's an inactive attorney, acting as a CEO of a medical group. Now, the dentists and Sam Gruenbaum and the advisory companies, they say, oh, we only have $23,750,000 in insurance coverage. You might have dozens of children that are catastrophically injured for the rest of their lives, some who don't have lower jaw bones, can't eat solid food, have spots on their lungs, perpetually getting sick, needing antibiotics, who are affected for the rest of their entire life because someone wanted to make another dollar. I mean, the main case, Maimed O'Day, had treatment in August of 2016. That's more than a month after the clinic knew and the dentist knew there was an outbreak of some type of nasty infection. Nobody thought, oh, maybe we should stop doing procedures. No. They thought we need to make our quotas. That's what was going on with Sam Gruenbaum running the place. So now it's been 7 years. Some of the kids' parents are saying, hey, we don't really care what you think your insurance coverage is. The fact is these kids are maimed because you wanted to make a buck. And a jury should probably hear this case. So the defendants are really pushing for the last few to settle their case. 197 children out of the 202 children have agreed to settle for the $23,750,000 just to put it behind them. After 7 years of litigating through the defendants getting cancer and the trial postponed and COVID and the trial postponed, and another postponement because the defendant has a vacation or a defense attorney has to go to their son's birthday party. More continuances and more continuances. The judge who was in charge of all of that in Department CX 101, Judge Glenda Saunders, literally postponed all trials for 6 years before all of the plaintiff's lawyers said to their clients, and this is what happened, hey, they're offering $23,750,000, which they're saying is all of their insurance. But later we find out that only some of the children is their limited insurance for. Because the way that the insurance companies and the dentists limited their exposure was to write out of their tail coverage, of the coverage that they could buy to protect them from future claims. When they bought that coverage, the insurance company said to the dentist, we will only cover you. You got to write out the water infection. So the tail coverage for all of the dentists who were working at the dental clinic in Anaheim and other clinics is limited by, it doesn't cover water infections. So the water infections only trigger those insurance policies one time for those dentists. One claim, all one claim from one outbreak of mycobacterium from the water. That's the defendant's argument. Now, the plaintiff's argument is that even if that's true, of the 202 children, maybe 70 of them or so had varying other torts committed against them that had nothing to do with the water infection. Lack of informed consent, use of nitrous oxide on a controlled child, marking it as uncontrolled, to commit a fraud on the Medi-Cal system to bill more, doing multiple procedures at a time, abusive practices, keeping the parents out of the room when the procedures go down so the parent can't see what they're doing, keeping an eye on the dentist through video recording all of the procedures and then having those video recordings reviewed by non-dentists to determine how to increase the quotas. Having a daily dashboard where the dentists are going in and people who aren't performing well are brought in to see the head honchos. which includes a non-dentist, Samuel Gruenbaum, an inactive attorney. The liability for these dentists will be catastrophic. It will be punitive, and it will be lifelong. That is the exposure that the dentists face. But the insurance company and their lawyers are pushing limited insurance coverage, thinking that all of the parents will just bow down and accept the situation, despite the fact that there's potentially way more insurance coverage. There's potentially lifelong liability in the form of punitive damages on the dentists. All of this has transpired over 7 years. Dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of depositions, some going days and even more than a week straight. Evidentiary hearings on what our experts are going to testify to determine if they're qualified. Okay. Massive amounts of discovery done. Never a trial after 6 years. You ask yourself why the Children's Dental Group case is still going? It's because the Orange County Superior Court didn't give the kids and the kids' lawyers a chance in hell at having a jury trial in a reasonable amount of time and at a reasonable cost. The children's lawyers, including me and others, have spent more than $2 million of our own money advancing costs because no company will loan litigation costs to these minor children. So we've taken it upon ourselves to front out this money and all of our time. And the defendants have the audacity to say to us, that's all the insurance that there is. To tell the minors' court, that's all the insurance that there is. Well, I challenge them. I challenge the judges in the probate department at the Orange County Superior Court to take a look at the insurance coverages and make a reasoned judgment as to whether or not the children in this case have been adequately compensated. And I implore them to seriously consider sending it to the trial court under Judge Lon Hurwitz for a jury trial for Maimed O'Day in 2024 for abusive practices at the clinic that caused his mouth to rot away. That's all that we want. And I'm out here asking the jury to award $100 million for Maimed. And the reason why I'm asking for $100 million is because the defendants, after 7 years, taking his jaw away from him, when his parents entrusted the care of their child to these dentists, what did they do? They took the direction of Sam Gruenbaum and they went in. They went in even though they had seen dozens of children already come down with the mycobacterium infection. They went in even though they knew that Nayeri Amador Morales, who's another seriously injured girl, was in Chalk Hospital with the mycobacterium infection. They went in.